That's why I can't say enough about. So this is for you, Frank, and both of you. But so you become, I talked to you about body awareness as well as mind awareness, and I'm listening to a couple of books just to get more information. But you have to be in tune with your body entirely too, and the changes in your body. You have to learn to feel the body. And I can't say enough. This is empirical fact. I can't say enough about fasting. I'm totally convinced now, beyond the shadow of a doubt. I've watched myself these several days. Until I get my work done for the day, there's no eating, there's no consumption, just coffee and water. Maybe fruit is okay too, but the minute I eat more than a few handfuls of something, this feeling of energy, profound energy and intellect and purpose and connection with everything vanishes. In other words, everything I could see. I'm so sensitive to my body that as soon as I eat a few handfuls, I don't know, a couple of ounces of food, everything becomes dulled. All my sensory awareness, my feeling of being in the world connected, like an energetic being, like you're on a different plane. When you become more conscious and you become sensitive in this way, you recognize the difference between the conscious states. It's all about, we talked about the difference between conscious states and recognizing the difference and the changes and what causes the transition between conscious states. And we know that these conscious states are always changing. And we know that we're always seeking for an improved conscious state. In other words, the whole drive of life is to change or to increase or to improve our conscious state, what it's like to be me. So we're always looking for things that bring us pleasure, right? So when we're always looking for things to bring us pleasure, we're ignoring the fundamental ground of being, the fundamental field of consciousness as an intelligence, as you said. We're stepping away from that, the source. We're stepping away from that, and we're consuming through sensory distractions or consuming some food or whatever. We're taking a path that gives us this temporary feeling of satisfaction. It changes the conscious state neurochemically. But rather, if we return to the source, the field of energy, the field of intelligence, and we fast and we stay energetic and empty, and we only eat just enough to stay healthy. So that means I'm pretty much hungry all the time, but I get used to it so I don't feel hungry. But the body is burning its own metabolites. Everything's clean in the body. Everything's clean and flowing. And then you eat and your body processes that. Don't believe the bullshit about anything otherwise. If you fast and eat only when you eat what you need, and when you eat, your body burns that fuel very efficiently. And the best time to do that is before you go to sleep. So anything else that we do in life is, all things are distractions from our true purpose, which our true purpose is to tap in to the source of knowledge and the source of energy. That's what we're here for as conscious beings, because we're not animals anymore. We're not animals anymore that just are content with eating and sleeping and reproducing. We've evolved past that point and there's no returning to it. But the average human wants to live that way, and the immediate gratifications of some pleasurable experience, or even some career goals, or making money, or consuming, or purchasing, right? Or having material gains. These are the same type of gratifications. They're almost like an animal level gratification, security, to have security in a more sublimated form, in a more sophisticated form. My understanding is that our true goal is to be conscious beings, and being conscious beings means to be knowing all the time. Being and knowing, being a conscious being, being consciousness, means to tap into the field of energy that's around us. Everything is composed of energy. There's no denying this. There's nothing mystical about it. And to use that energy as efficiently, learn ways and techniques to use that energy as efficiently as possible in this organism. And in this way, when we disregard all distractions, all desire to change my conscious state, and we stay in what is right now, in that emptiness, in that field of energy, in that creative potential. We learn to not desire to change this anymore, and this becomes a very fruitful, begins to flourish. Consciousness begins to flourish, and the mind begins to flourish, and intelligence begins to flourish. When we learn that anything we do other than increasing consciousness is a mere waste of time, a mere distraction. Because if you see it yourself, if you practice enough meditation and consciousness, meditation on being conscious, when you practice it enough, you eventually, inevitably, you cease to take pleasure in the things that used to, in these distractions that used to give you these temporary gratifications. So then what does life become? Life becomes very rich, because this becomes very creative. Life becomes fascinating and rich, and it's about the acquisition of knowledge, and that's what humans are here for, the acquisition and the processing of information. That's what this is designed for. That's what the human species has evolved to. And if you're ignoring that and distracting yourself, you're ignoring your true nature. So this becomes very creative, and I could be sitting in this car for 3 days. I'm going my way to work, and my life is very rich. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, hiking with a backpack, living the simplest type of life, life becomes potent and powerful. And then we learn processes about the body, keeping the mind and the body united as one and healthy. And this leads to a feeling of bliss within the body and in the mind, which leads to health and nourishment to every cell in my body. When I'm happy, every cell in my body is happy. And this leads to extended lifespan.